Hi, I'm Fox. And this is the property.
All I wanted to do was turn the water on. Somehow that turned into plumbing, demolition, a full dumpster, a bucket filling station, and my truck breaking down at a hardware store. So about as simple as anything else has been around here. At this point, I had only grabbed a few tools. Unfortunately, none of those tools were a knife or a chisel, so my handy-dandy screwdriver became the official starting hole maker. And there's the stud, which is good because I definitely want to know where that was before I started blindly cutting deeper into the wall. I knew the shower was leaking somewhere back here, I just didn't know exactly where, how bad it was, or what I was about to uncover. While peeling back the wallpaper tape, I could finally see that this was the end of the drywall. Whoever put this wall up had mudded over the crack so well that I couldn't see where one piece ended and the next one started, which made cutting a nice clean opening slightly more difficult. And this is my patented method for making sure the line is straight. A lot of measuring, staring at it, and moving it slightly, and eventually decide it looks close enough. It was incredibly awkward trying to use a sawzall in this tight little space, so please forgive the one-handed sawzall juggling. This is less of a professional technique and more of a desperate attempt not to cut through anything important, including myself.
Moment of truth.
Oh boy. Judging by the amount of spiders and spider webs inside this wall, I am already dreading the day I have to go into the attic. That sounds like a problem for Future Fox. And Future Fox is going to hate me. I hate this old pipe. Eventually, I'm ripping all of it out and replacing it with something made in this century, but right now I'm not rebuilding the whole house. I'm trying to get it working well enough that we can actually move in. That's project one. It doesn't have to be pretty, it just has to work. Preferably without flooding the house.
Now take off back. Or the front back.
I'm honestly surprised that came out so easily. Usually when something on the property looks easy, it means I'm about to discover the real problem. And there it is. It was not fine. I knew that went too smoothly.
Good job.
Now, time to go to the parts store and see what they have. Unfortunately,
Just can't have anything nice.
as the truck battery charges, might as well fix the door. This was surprisingly easy. Just need to swap out the battery and the lock will, lock. I'll fix the actual door handle later. For now, I just need the door to close, stay closed, and keep things outside from coming inside things. The dumpster finally arrived. Hell yeah, now I just need to figure out when trash day is, because I really don't want to overload it. I don't think you guys understand just how cool this trailer is. It's a trailer with a small hydraulic crane. I don't know how much one costs. I don't know where I would keep one. I have absolutely no reason to own one. But I would kill to have this trailer. One thumbless handshake later, and he was on his way, and I had acquired a dumpster.
I might have bought the wrong equipment.
I did indeed get the wrong equipment. At the store, I found out they didn't have a normal replacement for the old 2-hole shower setup. The plumbing is outdated enough that nothing new was going to fit without a conversion kit, several adapters, and at least one additional headache. By this point, I needed to break something. Luckily, I still needed to remove the old shower head, so that worked out nicely. Now, for anyone just tuning in, watch as the advanced monkey attempts to read instructions. They had words. They had pictures. Somehow they still explained almost nothing. I read them several times and eventually decided I understood them just enough to become dangerous. But as I got started, I realized I had to make it back to the parts store, which is a wonderful place to break down. Ugh. After dealing with that, I come back and did a quick, easy repair on the outside faucet. Not because it was the most important job, I just desperately needed one thing to go right for my own sanity. We've had this crimper for years. I don't think I have ever actually seen it get used, so this seems like as good a time as any. It connects the newer water line fittings without needing to glue everything together, which sounds simple until you actually squeeze it in a space this small. Yeah, just use the board. Unfortunately for the pipe cutter, it's the exact opposite. We've had it for years and used it for everything, so she's a little dull. And of course cutting by eyeball because, well, why not? I'll just make it fit when I need it to.
Sounds like I know what I do. Half the time.
Sure thing, bud. You keep telling yourself that. When in doubt, hold it in your teeth. I'm sure the technique is recommended somewhere in the official plumbing handbook. This is the part that is going to be screwed into the shower, which is a good part of it is that I can make it to where I can unscrew it when I replace the rest of the lines somewhere in the future. I probably should have made the hole in the wall bigger, but the truth is, I didn't know exactly where the leak was when I started cutting. I guess committed to it and somehow got lucky enough to land almost directly on the problem, except it was a little on the high side. That does not happen often around here, so I'm taking the win. And this is what I finally came up with. The old plumbing connects into the conversion kit connects into the new lines, and the new lines run everything to the new shower controls. While editing this, I realized I really did just say, fuck measuring. We're going to rock with this. It'll be fine. For the record, I did measure some of it. When I held the parts where I thought they needed to go, stared at them for a while, and then started cutting. This part was mostly assembling everything, checking the fit, taking it apart, adjusting it, and putting it back together again. The fun part about working with old plumbing is that every new piece fits perfectly with absolutely nothing that is already here. Every single time. Pipe dope must have a rule that says if it doesn't get on your hands, clothes, tools, and everything nearby. Then it just doesn't work. And this is how I measure where to cut the hole for my brand new bucket filling station. Because this kit is designed for bathtubs, not a shower. I don't have a bathtub. So my standing shower now has a bathtub faucet sticking out of the wall. It may look strange, but it will be great for filling buckets. Therefore, completely intentional. The hard part was keeping everything tight while also getting the fixture lined up so it stayed in one place. It is not perfect. Right now it is attached to the wall, facing mostly the correct direction, and not actively leaking. She did not want to stay where I needed her, so I had to get a little creative. This property has taught me that when the correct method stops working, the next step is usually clamps, leverage, or holding something with a completely unrelated object. The one-handed struggle is real, let me tell you. And she works. Hot water, cold water, working shower heads, and no leaks. Yet. I'm adding yet because I've learned not to challenge this property. This little closet used to hold a furnace. At some point, the furnace disappeared and the space was repurposed into a dark, nasty storage area for spider webs. The bigger problem was that almost no air could get through into the bedroom. So, goodbye wall. Removing this opens the room up, improves airflow, and gives us space for some other projects we have planned later. It also gets rid of one more disgusting little spider apartment. I am so glad to finally start getting all the junk out of the house. There is something deeply satisfying about tearing out something disgusting and immediately throwing it into a dumpster. Then it was time for another conversion kit and more valves. We love valves around here. This one gives us new lines to the refrigerator and the kitchen sink. And the new sink is installed. She was expensive, but absolutely worth it. After working around broken and outdated plumbing all day, seeing new clean water come out of a new faucet feels much more exciting than it possibly should. The back of the toilet needed a new tower, so I replaced that too. The toilet itself is still sinking in the floor and is nowhere near fancy enough for my family, but soon, its days are numbered. Next was the wall behind the washer and the dryer. Turns out most of the washer hookups were still usable and mainly needed to be opened up, cleaned out, and connected properly. One major cleanup later, and she is ready to be hooked up. Not everything is completely finished, but we now have working water in several places, a usable shower, a new kitchen sink, refrigerator lines, a repaired toilet tank, and a washing machine that is much closer to working.
Now that's airflow.
As for the dumpster,
Okay, now it's full.
if you made it this far, thank you for watching. Follow if you want to keep up with the story.